Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Innovation Brief by IdeaScale, where we help you turn your work team into innovators.
Absolutely.
Today, we're diving into something that I think is on every leader's mind.
Yeah.
How can we harness this power of digital innovation to reshape our businesses?
Right.
And I'm not talking about, just adding a cool new app or two.
Right.
We're talking about fundamental shifts in how value is created and delivered.
Yeah, that's right. And what's so fascinating is that we're seeing the impact of digital innovation across every single industry. I mean, think about how the customer experience has been completely transformed in just the last few years.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit.
Sure.
Why is digital innovation so crucial, especially now?
Yeah.
We know businesses always have to evolve.
Right.
But what's different in today's landscape?
Well, the pace of change has become absolutely relentless.
Yeah.
And if you're not constantly innovating, your competitors will be. But it goes beyond just staying ahead of the game. Digital innovation can unlock huge gains in efficiency, create entirely new revenue streams,
Yeah.
and empower us to make decisions based on real-time data.
It's not just about keeping up. It's about, getting ahead
Yeah.
and changing the game entirely.
Right.
But where do we even begin? What are the building blocks of digital innovation?
Well, it's not just about adopting the latest technology.
Right.
It's about using that technology strategically
Okay.
to transform your business model, to enhance the customer experience,
Yeah.
and make your organization more agile and responsive.
It sounds like there are a lot of moving pieces.
There are.
What are some real-world examples of companies that are getting this right?
Well, take a company like Netflix.
Yeah.
They completely disrupted the entertainment industry by moving from a DVD by mail service to a global streaming giant.
Right.
That required a fundamental shift in their business model, a deep understanding of user experience, and the courage to experiment and adapt.
That's a great example of a company that saw the writing on the wall.
Right.
And had the vision to completely reinvent themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And think about Amazon.
Okay.
Their ability to leverage data to personalize recommendations
Right.
and optimize their entire operation has been key to their success. They've turned data into a competitive advantage.
So it's not just about having data.
Right.
It's about knowing how to use it effectively
Exactly.
to make better decisions.
Precisely.
Yeah, okay.
And we can't forget about the importance of user-centric design.
Right.
Companies like Apple are obsessed with creating products that are not only functional, but also beautiful and intuitive to use.
Yeah.
They've mastered the art of blending form and function.
Okay, so we've seen some amazing examples of digital innovation in action.
We have.
But how do we actually make this happen?
Yeah.
In our own organizations, where do we start?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And the first step is to align your digital innovation efforts
Okay.
with your core business objectives.
All right.
It's not about chasing shiny objects. It's about using technology strategically to achieve your specific goals.
So we need to ask ourselves,
Yeah.
how can digital innovation help us achieve our business goals?
Exactly. And
Okay.
just as important is fostering a culture of innovation within your organization.
Right.
This means creating an environment where employees feel empowered to share ideas, experiment, and even fail sometimes.
So it's about creating a safe space for people to take risks
Absolutely.
and try new things.
Absolutely. And that leads us to another crucial best practice.
Okay.
Embracing agile methodologies. This means breaking down large projects into smaller, more manageable chunks
Okay.
and adopting an iterative approach to development.
So it's about being flexible and adaptable, constantly learning,
Precisely.
and iterating as you go.
Precisely. And to create truly innovative solutions. You need to emphasize user experience design.
Okay.
This means putting the user at the center of your design process.
Right.
And making sure that your digital solutions are intuitive, easy to use, and provide a seamless experience.
It's all about making things as user-friendly as possible, right?
Exactly.
Meeting your customers where they are.
Exactly. And to inform your innovation decisions,
Yeah.
you need to leverage data and analytics.
Okay.
This means gathering data on user behavior, market trends, and other relevant metrics,
Right.
and using that data to make smarter decisions.
Data is the key to understanding what's working, what's not.
It is.
And where the opportunities lie.
It is.
But innovation doesn't happen in a vacuum, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to foster partnerships and collaborations.
Okay.
Digital innovation often requires working with external partners, startups, or even competitors to access new technologies, share knowledge, and accelerate the innovation process.
It's about tapping into a wider ecosystem
It is.
of expertise and resources.
Yes,
Collaboration can be a powerful driver of innovation.
exactly. And to truly embrace a culture of innovation, you need to encourage experimentation.
Okay.
Create a safe space for employees to try new things, even if they don't always succeed.
Right.
Failure is an essential part of the learning process.
You learn more from your mistakes than from your successes, right?
Absolutely. And finally, to be successful in the digital age, you need to invest in talent and skills.
Okay.
Make sure your workforce is equipped with the knowledge and expertise they need to thrive in this rapidly changing landscape.
Sounds like digital innovation is less about any specific technology
Right.
and more about a mindset and a commitment to continuous learning
It is.
and adaptation.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's about embracing change, being willing to experiment, and putting the user at the center of everything you do.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about why digital innovation is so crucial,
Yeah.
the key components that drive it,
Right.
and some best practices for making it happen.
Yes.
But before we move on, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the human element of all of this.
Sure.
How do we navigate the impact of digital innovation
Mm-hmm.
on our workforces and the broader society?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a crucial aspect that I don't think we can overlook.
Right.
You see, digital innovation often leads to a shift in the skills required for various roles. It can
Right.
even reshape entire industries.
Right.
So organizations need to be proactive in supporting their employees through these transitions.
It's about empowering people to adapt and thrive in this new landscape.
Exactly.
Yeah, not just focusing on the technology itself.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where technological advancements go hand in hand with human well-being. And that brings us to another critical aspect of digital innovation, the ethical consideration.
That's a big one.
It is.
How do we ensure that we're innovating responsibly,
Yeah.
especially with technologies that are advancing so rapidly?
Yeah, it's about asking ourselves the tough questions.
Okay.
What are the potential unintended consequences of this innovation?
Right.
How do we protect data privacy?
Mm-hmm.
How do we avoid bias in algorithms?
Yeah.
We have a responsibility to ensure that digital innovation is a force for good.
So it's not just about what we can do,
Right.
but what we should do.
Exactly.
You need to be mindful of the broader impact of our innovations.
Absolutely. We need to consider the long-term implications of our actions.
Right.
And work towards a future where digital innovation benefits everyone.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
I have.
From defining digital innovation
Yeah.
to exploring its building blocks
Right.
and the best practices for fostering it.
Yeah.
We've also touched on the human and ethical dimensions of this rapidly evolving field.
We have.
But what's really exciting is that we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I completely agree. The possibilities are truly endless. We're seeing groundbreaking advancements in areas like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the Internet of Things.
Right.
These technologies have the potential to revolutionize industries, from healthcare to transportation to manufacturing.
It feels like we're on the cusp of a new era of technological advancement.
I think so.
But with these advancements come new challenges.
Of course.
Right.
And one of the biggest challenges, I think, is navigating the increasing complexity of the technology landscape.
Okay.
Leaders need to be able to make sense of these emerging technologies, identify the ones that are relevant to their business, and develop a clear strategy for adopting them.
It's about being able to separate the hype from the reality
It is.
and making informed decisions about which technologies to invest in.
Exactly. And another challenge is attracting and retaining top talent in the digital space.
Right.
The demand for skilled professionals in areas like data science, software engineering, and cybersecurity is skyrocketing.
So companies need to be proactive in developing their talent pipeline and creating a work environment that attracts and retains the best and brightest minds.
Absolutely. And finally, I think one of the biggest challenges is managing the pace of change.
Yeah.
The technology landscape is constantly evolving,
Right.
and it can be difficult for organizations to keep up.
Yeah.
They need to be agile, adaptable, and willing to embrace change in order to thrive in this environment.
It's about creating a culture of continuous learning and experimentation,
It is.
where failure is seen as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Exactly. And with the right mindset and strategies, any organization can harness the power of digital innovation to achieve remarkable results.
Well said. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question.
Sure.
As you think about your own organization,
Yeah.
what is one area where digital innovation could have the biggest impact in the next year? What's that one thing that could really move the needle for your business?
That's a great question for leaders to ponder. And it's not necessarily about finding the most cutting-edge technology.
Right.
It's about identifying the areas where technology can be used to solve real problems, improve efficiency, and create tangible value for your customers.
It's about being strategic and focusing on the areas where digital innovation can make the biggest difference.
Exactly.
And for those of you who are ready to take the next step in your digital innovation journey, we encourage you to book a demo for a free trial of IdeaScale's software.
Absolutely.
IdeaScale can empower your teams to collaborate, generate ideas, and turn those ideas into reality.
It's a powerful tool for driving innovation and fostering a culture of creativity within your organization.
So don't miss out on the opportunity to turn your work team into innovators.
Yeah.
Head over to IdeaScale.com to learn more and book your free trial today.
And be sure to subscribe to the Innovation Brief for more insights and inspiration delivered right to your earbuds every Tuesday and Friday.
We love hearing from our listeners, so please leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts on today's episode.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of innovation. Until then, keep innovating.
And remember, the future belongs to those who are bold enough to create it. Speaking of creating the future, one of the things that's really captured the imagination lately is the metaverse.
It certainly has. It feels like everyone's talking about the metaverse, but it can be hard to pin down exactly what it is.
I know what you mean. It seems like everyone has a different definition.
Right.
What's your take on it?
Well, the term is still evolving, but I think of the metaverse as a persistent and immersive digital world that we can access through a variety of devices, from virtual reality headsets to our smartphones.
So it's more than just a virtual reality game.
Yeah.
It's a whole digital ecosystem where we can work, play, socialize, and even conduct business.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is that it's not just a digital replica of the physical world.
Right.
The metaverse offers possibilities that we simply can't experience in reality.
I've heard people talking about buying virtual real estate in the metaverse.
Yeah.
Is that actually a thing?
It is. People are
that's-
buying and selling virtual land, building virtual homes and businesses, and hosting virtual events. It's a whole new economy emerging right before our eyes.
It sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think the metaverse will have on businesses?
Well, I think it has the potential to revolutionize a wide range of industries,
Okay.
from gaming and entertainment to education and healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine attending a virtual conference where you can interact with people from all over the world as if you were physically present.
Yeah.
Or think about the possibilities for training and education where people can learn new skills in immersive, interactive environments.
Those are some incredible possibilities.
Yeah.
But as with any new technology, there are also potential downsides, right?
Of course, there are concerns about privacy, security, and the potential for addiction. It's crucial that we address these issues responsibly as the metaverse continues to develop.
It's all about finding that balance between innovation and responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ensuring that these new technologies are used for good.
Exactly. And I think that's a good note to end on. We've explored the vast landscape of digital innovation, from the fundamental building blocks to the emerging world of the metaverse. It's an exciting time to be a leader in this space.
It certainly is. And to our listeners, I encourage you to embrace the possibilities of digital innovation. Don't be afraid to experiment, to take risks, and to challenge the status quo.
And remember, innovation is a journey, not a destination. There's always something new to learn, something new to create, and something new to discover.
If you're ready to empower your team and unleash their innovative potential, don't forget to book a demo for a free trial of IdeaScale software at IdeaScale.com.
And be sure to subscribe to the Innovation Brief so you don't miss out on our upcoming episodes releasing every Tuesday and Friday.
Until next time, keep innovating and turn your work team into innovators.